Hey everybody, this is Rydo and we're back to Layers of Fear. So, last recording, we got about 10 minutes into the game, the real gameplay. Turns out we are in chapter 1 now, after looking at a walkthrough. Turns out that there are collectibles, but you basically would have to turn the brightness up to find them. I'm not sure if I'll find any of them. There's like 48 in the game. And it turns out that I proved pretty apparently that there's many wrong ways to write the 9th of June on a combination lock, which is the code. So the way I was doing it wrong is June is the 6th month, and I didn't really learn that, so I thought it was the 5th month for half of last recording, and then I thought, well, it's probably the 6th month. Let me double check. But then I was putting 096 when it should be 906. It should be. So why is it not working? There's also some crazy achievements for like looking at. Look. Oops. I guess it's 548. I totally missed that. Well, now I've proven that stupidity will waste a lot of time here in this. So the combination is 5, 4, 8. It did work immediately. So maybe that combination is for something else. That's certainly the past mole holds back. Look closer.
The thought alone that the most beautiful piece of art doesn't have my name on it is killing me. So, will you marry me?
So it's the wedding ring. It's an oddly colored wedding ring. Never forget. And see, there's that door that I thought was going to be here. And once you go through an area, you're done. So if there is some collectible somewhere and you miss it, you just miss it. But you can come back and play the game a second time to get all the collectibles. I don't know if it's worth doing that though. Alright, we have the creepy rocking horse with nobody in it. We have lots of candles. And it stops. And having to get out of the way as these things open is just too realistic. Let's see what this says. You've been snooping around my workshop again. For the last time, you're not allowed in that room. Even though the door happens to be open, I forbid it. This is your last warning. Next time, you'll have to look for a new job. And again, that's perforated paper. Or spiral bound paper. It seems like the character that we're playing as is of a split personality. If I was to guess. And see, once we're in the room, I imagine. Yeah, there's a completely different hallway. And some more dominoes, some Unity assets getting reused. Although, frankly, I've seen some Capcom games like Resident Evil 6. Well, I just got dumped down in the basement. My love, even though you have not been born yet, I can already feel your presence. It's simply amazing. I can't believe how lucky I am. A year ago, all I had was talent and ambition. Now, against all odds, I have a career, a loving husband, and you. I've never been a deeply religious person, I guess. What other people look for in a sermon, I found in perfecting my art. But now I can't help but feel like there's a higher power watching over me. They once told me that I would never succeed as a musician. Now I'm playing sold out concerts at some of the most prestigious venues in the country. They also said I had a difficult character and that I would never find a soulmate. Guess again. Finally, a doctor once told me that I would never be able to have children of my own, and yet here you are within me. I am quite possibly the happiest woman in the world. I love you so much. So in that case, that's a letter to the daughter. So I'm in some kind of basement, and it feels like maybe I could have gone a different route. Dust mice. Even in my lungs, grotesque, vermin dirt. There is always more. So is it dust mites? What is this? It looks... Yeah, I can certainly see the argument for... So are these paintings cursed? Is that what it is? That letter is gone too, so I don't know if I'm picking up letters, because I haven't been really picking up letters before. I've been putting them back down. Really feels like the only choice I'm getting to make in this game is whether I turn around or not. Then the question would become, do I always turn around and look for one more jump scare? And so the baby doll was on this picture before, and I stood in front of it and it dropped me down here, and now it's on this bloody deer horn. It's just a doll, but there's definitely some weirdness going on. The fires, the candles. I can play with this globe, but it doesn't seem like it's doing anything. It looks like there's little bits of flickering when you're far away on this. I'm not sure if that's intentional or if that's just a glitch of the visuals. You see? So the developer of this game went on to make a game called Observer, which is a cyberpunk game. I wonder if that would be a weird twist if this turns out to all be some kind of like synthetic VR thing. Let's see, somebody broke the floor panels. We've got all these faces looking at me, which there's something slightly off on all the faces. They're double exposed faces, two-faced, as we're walking down. Let's see. Paint deep lies.
Now, a tiny bit to the left. Yes, just like that. Hold that pose. I want to get all those lovely curves just right.
I'm not that round. See, that one didn't disappear. This game is just all jump scares. 100% jump scares, and that's just not gonna work. Well, I should have given my standard warning, frankly, for games like this, that any horror game is probably not gonna affect me very much. I'm just not scared of fictitious things. I have in my head the ability to tell the difference between reality and fiction. Pretty good, at least as far as I can tell, compared to other people. And because of that, I don't get sucked in or enthralled by video games. I've been playing them practically my entire life, and it's always kind of ridiculous when people try to make the claim that like video games make you violent or something. Video games that are designed to make you scared don't even make me scared. Some might argue it's a lack of emotional response or connection to the game. Some might argue it's sociopathy. But regardless, that's not the reason why I play horror games. The reason I play horror games like this is because it allows artists quite often to depict something new, something different. In that hallway when we saw those double faces, I believe a rat just ran into a fire there. You don't see that. You don't see somebody painting double exposures on faces. That's new. That interests me as just new information. And so that face melted out. And then you turn around and you get the jump scare of a bunch of books. And I will admit, they got me on the jump scare. I jumped. And the paintings are all falling apart. So what's the reality here? Is the painter trying to varnish and destroy all the paintings? Was he never a good painter in the first place? Was he hallucinating the images that he was seeing? Are all these things cursed? Cursed paintings isn't a bad idea. There was a movie called Oculus that was rather good about a cursed mirror. It had some problems, I think, telling kind of two stories at the same time. Half of a flashback of events that happened previously and half of what was currently happening. And it really didn't leave itself open for much of a sequel. But it was an interesting idea nonetheless, because a cursed mirror being your antagonist and causing people to hallucinate was kind of cool. I think it probably deserved more views. Here we have a woman crying. I don't know where you go with the story on this either. Like, right now it's been all focusing mostly on the wife. You're gonna consistently get split between wanting to know what happened to the daughter and what happened to the wife. So I almost...
Hello. It's about time for us to talk, don't you think? I mean, I've seen you in my house so many times, and yet I could never find the courage to face you directly. Not until now.
Look how clean this brush is. And how modern the bristles look. Made out of plastic. Like, what time frame is this set in? They probably would have done better had they introduced the idea that the daughter died very, very early in the story, and then just one letter that you could have come back at a later time and said, no, actually that letter wasn't true, when you wanted to introduce that idea. Here you have 2 kids playing and the wife dead. Let's see. That one's locked. So I guess we're just the same old pictures with slightly different modifications to them. Boy, when you walk through something, the lighting just changes. Feels like they should rework the lighting engine on this, or have a blinking effect, which would be kind of spooky in itself, where you walk through a door and you blink your eye and the lighting changes. Let's see, it seems like they're making you walk around an awkwardly designed room in an effort to get you further away from other sections or something. I don't know, like, I don't expect I'll be running from a monster in this section. Maybe there will be a secret panel. Maybe there's a collectible somewhere around here. Maybe they just want to reinforce that you're clearly drinking way too much wine. And then it's just bright again. See, they don't want the lighting to go through the wall when the door is closed, but they do need it to go through the wall when the door is open, and it just doesn't. And everything is locking behind you. It almost feels like you are the ghost of this house. You're the one haunting it, wandering around, opening doors, closing doors, making noise. Alright, well, there's no consistency clearly in this world. Things are just wherever they want to be. And second floor, first floor. I opened all of these before, and they're now all closed. And now things are happening. Plants are rotting. And a knife is getting thrown at me. And a ridiculous cartoony amount of food falls out of the picture. And we've got a completely different picture.
First, I looked for a canvas. Not just any canvas. I had to find a knife. Not one of those bread ones. It needed to be as sharp as a razor. So I used a razor, in fact, and then carefully flayed the skin. Booze helped keep my hand steady.
So, apparently, the painting you're making was painted in human flesh, Boy, I cannot see anything, so if I was going to try to even find the door handle, I don't think I could find it. It's so dark. And we're back in the painting room. Although it's not the painting room as it was before. There's less paintings around and less things around, which makes me suspect that it is actually a previous timeline. So I guess the one photo I found was a memento, and that letter was a memento. So we have all these black pages indicating collectibles, which would tell more of the story. I guess that gives you a reason to play the game more. I almost suspect when this game was originally released, it didn't include that, and they added it for more reasons to play. And we found that one. And we still can't open this. And deep breaths. Remember, you're a professional. It's just the first few strokes, then you're over the hump. What's so hard about it? Let's see. Sharpens shapeless dreams. And let's look here. We now have hate, even now lost, you deserve it. Finish it. So we got the word hate. And we've got a dust mouse running around. All the booze is gone. So we're gonna put the flesh on the canvas. And all of a sudden the canvas is these bloody flamingos, which I guess this is part of the Magnum Opus, the masterwork and the concepts there of the creator and the artist of this game too. Like, you certainly would not be able to accomplish this game without at least one painting that's a big part of this mattering. So what does this say? I can't read it. So that the text of what you said when you picked up the flesh is there. And so we now know what this is there will be 5 more chapters with 5 more pieces of flesh to collect. That's the game we're playing. I doubt there's anything else that changes or happens here. Of course, to be fair, 5 more chapters of jump scares? That seems crazy. If they don't change it up in some way, and this hallway certainly doesn't feel like it was being changed up. I thought for a second there I was just going to play the exact same experience again. Let's see. So we've got the ability to go up or down. And I almost assume that if I go up, I'll go down, and if I go down, I'll go up. So let's go up. It's not really much of a choice. Okay, I just saw something. A person. And now I'm seeing way too many floors in this building. really wouldn't design a house as big as this is, or it seems to be, and then have so few connecting hallways. But I guess maybe doors that are locked might connect to sections that we've seen before. At least up here we can see the tops of trees. Might need to go back down. Candle's not lit. Nope. Okay, this door is open now. So there was like an achievement for staring at this guy for several minutes. I don't know if you can get that from outside of the prologue though. And apparently I can't shut the door. Dear sir, I can certainly understand that you're upset, and I have nothing but sympathy for your wife and yourself. I must categorically state that I do not wish to receive any further correspondence from you in this matter. Any skin graft procedure is extremely complicated and inherently associated with the risk of failure. Having stated that, I assure you that me and my colleagues at St. Anne have made every effort to ensure a positive outcome for your wife. Personally speaking, I believe we have done the best job, possibly considering the extent of tissue damage. You are, of course, entitled to your opinion. I can certainly understand your disappointment. What I cannot understand is how you seem to think writing hateful letters to me or my fellow doctors will ameliorate the situation. As I've already stated, I can certainly understand you've been under a lot of stress of late, and thus I will not press charges if you refrain from any further correspondence. Let me make it absolutely clear that I will not tolerate any further threats aimed at my staff, my family, or myself. If you wish to seek psychological help, I can have my assistant provide contact information for several specialists who would be more than competent to help you through these hard times. With regards and best wishes for you and your wife, William H. Green, MD. Dr. Green did it. It's almost like a clue game. So the wife got burned. Now and this is not the same hallway because there was a connecting hallway before. So
Why did you stop? That tune was perfect. Honey, please, just a little longer. At least until I finish painting this one part. Oh, don't make me beg.
So fire damage, it seems like that. Fire damage on the music, fire damage on her. That makes sense. Way too many of these little nightstands. And I guess that's where I wanted to go. I'm having trouble now. I guess maybe I'm using the wrong controls. Yeah. Up to the roof we go. It looks like maybe some major fire damage going to be depicted here. So yeah, I don't know if what happens here changes in this game if I go on somewhere different. And honestly, I don't think I really care. Like, it's asking way too much, even for a short 5-hour game, to make me play the entirety of the game up until very specific choices and then change those choices. This is certainly the reason why I never felt the need to go back and play any of the Telltale games, The Walking Dead or anything like that. My choices basically are my choices, and I'm more than willing to live with them. Let's see. Now, when we are in the menu, yeah, there's really nothing that lets you look and see what collectibles you've collected. So, throughout the process of playing this game, you'd have to probably go exit back to the menu after you've played the game once. Select certain chapters, follow a walkthrough for each chapter to the T to get all the collectibles, and that's probably the only way this would ever you'd ever get everything. And it is rather weird that the collectibles are here and there's achievements in this game, and there's kind of a heavy emphasis on achievements. There's more achievements than I would have given it. I would have given it 6, 7 achievements maybe, and that's about it. But I think there's somewhere closer to like 40, maybe 20, but way more than 6 for sure. And since there's only 6 chapters, that's basically all I would have made. Anyways, it's been another 30 minutes. They kind of backed off on the jump scares a little bit, and we're back into story, so I feel like the story is probably going to be half revelations through picking up bits of notes, which, boy, does this feel like getting back into Skyrim and just reading every book, or in my case, intentionally not reading every book in Skyrim. Anyways, that's it for this recording. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment, and watch every second of my videos. If you want to friend or follow me on any social media sites, there's a whole bunch of links down below in the description box. And if you want to support me further, friend me on Steam, gift me a game. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.